This tournament's been going on for many, many years. I think they might be close to 30 or over 30. And we got a kind of an interesting matchup. We got Lips. Huh? Yeah, I'm going to stay in the shade. So, got an interesting matchup. You got the Dirty 38s who won the SSA Tom Egg-Zarnik Class A No Glove National Championship tournament. They do have an addition or two, but they won that tournament. And you got the Lips who are chasing their fifth in a row out here. So kind of an interesting matchup. Lips defending champs. Another warm day here in Chicago. Fortunately on this main championship diamond, I'm tucked into a little shade. So leading off is going to be Wheels, then BT and the Iggy. And you'll recognize a lot of these players. Wheels played on Miller for a long time, was an outfielder. If you remember, that Miller team had like 3 or 4, might have been 5 absolute jackrabbits that they used to rotate in the outfield. Wheels has since transitioned and become a pitcher. And they will allow you to exceed the 12-foot height limit out here. So strike zone's going to look a little different. And there's a little swing, little pop-up over to the shortstop, Julian Russell, and he puts it away. So that's how the game begins, and here comes BT, Brian Barzowski. So both of these teams, this is the winner bracket. They do have a consolation out here. The winner of this game will be in the championship. I believe Underage and another team I didn't quite get the name of are playing right now. So we'll go back to back. We'll show you the championship game again. This is not double elimination. And then after this, we're going to hightail it back out to Melrose Park and show you a little co-ed mush. So BT, a little ground ball up the middle, handled by Joe Papp, and he makes the play. So 2 up, 2 down here. This is a semifinal action, and this tournament has been an institution on the north side. Of course, Michael Ceriale was a police officer who lost his life way too young. And so it's kind of neat that they have continued to carry this on. So normally we see Alan Oshinsky pitching, but he's not on the bump today. He's hanging out over by the backstop. And here's Joey Agardo, and he swings and he hits it up the middle. Of course, Joey, you might know him. He is the starting shortstop on Flashback. Just won the No Glove. Joey actually won an MVP, co-MVP with Mike Mirosevich 2 years ago. And brings up Michael Angie. Of course, you know Mike from his Dynasty days and now currently playing with Circus. So you got a lot of good major players, and here he goes, a little hit and run, little ground ball though, handled by the second baseman. No problem as he sat on the ball, Gary, and made the play. So Lips trying to generate a little bit, and they go with the hit and run. Michelangi is such a good hitter that sometimes when you put that hit and run on, the hitter ends up having to swing at a pitch he might not. Now the wind is blowing in on this diamond. I know Mike was talking to Julian Russell before the game, and he said, yeah, the wind's really howling in here, so that does change your approach at times. So it's going to be Joe, the right fielder, and we've talked about Joe on previous streams, and Joe is a good little leadoff man. He's very deceptive, plays right field for the 38s. But he has a knack for getting on base. And he swings and he just flips it into center field. Nice easy swing. Big turn, but it'll come back. So leadoff man on here, bottom of the first for the 38s. And that's going to bring up Justin Montalvo. Justin and Joe were both fantastic when they won the Class A No Glove National Championship. Justin was playing third base that weekend and was just fantastic. Takes that pitch, 38s. They got nobody coaching first base. We'll see if that comes into play. And that ball's a little deep. So here comes a first base coach. Nice breeze, helping to keep the people in the shade cool. So Justin really being patient, full count. Nobody out here. This is up in Hamlin Park, north side of the city of Chicago, tucked into a residential neighborhood. And there is some chaos at times because they got 4 diamonds, and he walks. So you can see, I'll pan around a little bit. You got a diamond down left field, 338 to the fence. You got a diamond dead center field and a diamond down the right field line, 337 if you hit the backstop. So here's Julian Russell, picked up an MVP at that Class A No Glove, and there he flares it out of play. So that'll be a strike. Just underway here. Again, this is 16-inch style softball. You're seeing it correct. No gloves, 60-foot bases, leadoff can't steal. 38 from the rubber to the point of home plate. No ceiling on the arc today, but it does have to be, I believe, 6 feet on the low side. 2 fakes or hesitation. Third arm action must be to deliver the ball home. Fake to a base is considered, or throw to a base is considered one of your fakes or hesitations. So here's Julian. And there he just sweeps it to second. And they're saying that the ball hit him, and the umpire did see it. So he's going to send the runners back. Julian will get credit for a hit. The base runner is called out, and Joe will have to stay at second. So 1 out there. Second baseman actually hung with that. Could have made a play, but umpire did see it. And here's Dom Jacoby. Of course, Dom plays with Los Barachos. The big question in softball is how long will he be there? And we covered Dom when he was in the Chicago Public High School playoffs. And Dom, a young player there, he took the big walk-up but then didn't swing. So, you know, that's one of Gio's pet peeves. And I think this kid Dom's going to be a good player. And there it's a high towering fly ball. Brian Sherwin makes the play. The runner will advance, but 2 outs. 2 Sherwins on this Lips team. Brian and his brother Billy. Billy's catching. Brian's in left. I don't know what the over-under will be on Gio confusing the two. So that's going to bring up the first baseman, Ryan. So runners on the corners, 2 outs, no score here. We're in the bottom of the first. And we do swing heavy bats. They can weigh up to 38 ounces, 34 inches long, 3 1/4 on the barrel. And there he scalds it, but right to Joey Agardo. And Joey pulls the throw. 1 run does score. Julian Russell will go to third on the play. So Joey Agardo, we don't see that very often. Joey, one of the best shortstops in the game defensively. And Looked like he just kind of rushed the throw and threw a slider down and away. So first run of the ball game brings up Chuck Regaldo, who patrols center field for the 45s normally. So four-time defending champs in an early 1-0 hold here. With Connor Grove on deck. And Chuck hits a ground ball to Joey, a little bobble, this time on the money. And they get Chuck by just a half a step. So they get through the inning, only one run. Big play there, the runner getting hit by the ball. Chances are, if he doesn't get hit, probably would have been second and third. And they probably would have ended up with an extra run on the throwing error. So big play in that bottom of the first. We'll head to the top of the second. It'll be Cody Niedenbach, Gary, and I can't really read what this is. It's either little G or UG. So the Dirty 38s normally are a group where they're solid defensively. They hit enough, and they usually don't beat themselves. So here's Cody Niedenbach. You might recall him from some of our streams. Plays third and short for the March team. And we got about 5 military helicopters flying by. Cody swings and lofts a fly ball. Dom Jacoby is there, and he puts it away for out number 1. So here comes Guy. Lips started a little slow. They beat the Blue Knights to get here. It was a close game into about the 4th inning, and then a couple of errors, and they pulled away in that game. And he lofts a high fly ball, and Dom is there for that, and that's going to be out number 2. And it is UG, and UG is up. Again, there is a breeze, top of the trees by home plate really moving. So anything hit up in the air, at least you really barrel up and hit it more on a line. It's going to have a little trouble beating an outfield. And there's a strike. Dane on the hill. Pitch a little deep. Swings, humpback line drive, base hit. So 2-out base hit. Here comes a courtesy. It's going to bring up Brian Sherwin. Come on, Pete! Of course, Brian was a longtime Dynasty guy. Him and Michelangelo both went to Circus this year. Now, Brian is interesting because a lot of times if there's a little flare, Julian called it all the way, made the play. I was going to say a lot of times when he turns and burns, he hits a lot of line drives right down the left field line. That time it looked like he was trying to do a cut. So now we're going to head to the bottom of the second, still 1-0. For those teams looking to get into the SSA Class A Glove National Championship Tournament, August 15th through the 18th. you need to jump in and let Anthony Tyler know. Last time I talked to Anthony, we had 34 confirmed teams. So it's a monster. Biggest 16-inch national championship tournament in the country. For those of you on the stream, again, apologize for not getting that notification. We will be live with the championship game that would probably start about 15 minutes or so after this one concludes, unless the underage game goes a little longer. And then we'll have a break as we hightail it to Melrose, and we'll be back a little bit later with 14-inch co-ed mushball championship. Connor Grove, hard ground ball. Alonji, a bobble, plenty of arm though, and he gets Connor out. Of course, Connor, member of the Odyssey softball team. We'll be back out there. You guys win the other night? That was a big tilt. So we'll be getting out there for the playoffs shortly. And we, of course, will be doing the championship game. So there's a ball, just foul. Just foul. So Joe Papp missed that right field line by maybe a half a foot, if that. It was foul. Smoked it. But just foul. Of course, our good friend Shane Reardon on that Odyssey team. Executive producer, I believe. And there's a hard ground ball to second. Nicely done by the second baseman Guy. Very slick play there. A lot of range. 2 outs. Shane Reardon, the executive producer for Parkins and Spiegel. So that's going to bring up Sean. And he takes a strike there. And he swings a little tapper up the middle to Alonji. Got the nice soft hop and puts it away. So 3 up, 3 down. And we're going to head now to the top of the third. Still 1-0. It's going to be Timmy Simon, Bill Sherwin, and Phil Mockler coming up here for Lips. So we head to the top of the third, 1-0. So both teams kind of feeling each other out here. Not a lot of offense through the first 2. Both teams have not yet cycled to the top of their lineup. There's a little soft pop-up. Joe is there, puts it away for the first out of the inning. And I'm not sure if that's what team that is in the blue. Can't read their jerseys, but everybody kind of hanging around here. So here's Billy Sherwin. And that ball lands on the plate. And he swings, drives it up the middle. Good job there by Joe Papp. And he makes the play at first. Joe Papp playing short center. Took about 3 or 4 chop steps to his left. Made the play and threw a strike. So 2 outs, and here's Phil Mockler. And he hits a little overhand cut down on the run. Can't get there, but it's a foul ball. Not a lot of foul territory really down these lines. They play the fence line down. So Phil Mockler here. Overhand cut. Dom is there. Belly catch. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Still 1-0. So this is not the championship game, Matt. This is a semifinal. The winner will be in the championship. I believe Underage is playing on the directly across from us. So whoever wins the Underage game will be in the championship. So it's going to be Gary, Dane, and then Joe. 10-11-1 here coming up for the 38s. And here's a bomb from the other diamond coming in. Of course, the wind pushing this way. And they actually hold the kid to a triple. A little different on the championship diamond. They got the wind knocking everything down. So here's Gary trying to get us started after a brief break there. Takes a strike. So last year I was out here commenting about wheels. And there's a hard ground ball to second. Little bobble, throw to first, not in time. And he's transitioned nicely to the mound. He plays good defense up the middle. And he's also leading off. So Gary gets on. That ball took a little bounce on the second baseman. And it brings up the pitcher, Dane. And Dane hits a little soft pop-up. Gary got back in time. For the first out of the inning. And here's Joe. Just flipped a nice single into center field his last time up. With Justin on deck here. And there's a hard ground ball. Nice play. Good play by Alonji. Second baseman charged the ball. Went to do an underhand flip. Ball bounced in. Alonji stretched like a first baseman. Made the play. They get the fielder's choice. And here's Justin. So 1 out, 1 on here. Bottom of the third. And there's a little flare down the line, out of play. Well, Matt, he's pretty good. I asked him if he ever thought about going back and playing on a team, and he said no, got too much going on and likes hanging out. But I don't know back then if he was pitching anywhere, because never saw him on the hill for Miller. And Justin, hard ground ball to third. A little bobble by Niedenbach. First baseman tried to one-hand it. And he kind of threw a little slider over here. So now you got a little something brewing here with Julian Russell. Runners on the corners here. 38's trying to dethrone the four-time champs. And Julian tries to go big to center. Oh, my bad. There were two outs because of the fielder's choice. And ball just kind of hung up there, had no chance. And we're going to head to the top of the fourth. Still 1-0. Let's go. So it is going to be the top of the Lips lineup. Wheels, BT, and Iggy. Not quite halfway through this ball game.
Ready, Matt, let's go.
Yeah, ball deep. Ball's deep. That was the Crawfords, wasn't it, Matt? When they had the balls deep team. Ran into a lot of the Crawfords out at the No Glove. They were all out there to watch. I believe it was Michael Crawford who was still playing. Played in the No Glove last week. So it was nice to run into Pat and some of the others who I had a lot of fun when they were with Flashback for 1 year when I was there. So here's Wheels trying to get something going here. Fourth inning, and this is only his second at-bat in the ball game. And there's a little chopper. He's going to try to beat it out. Joe Papp will make the play. And Joe Paparone doing a good job up the middle. So one out here, top of the fourth. And I tell you, Dane is pitching pretty good in his own right here. Keeping Lips to nothing through 3 1/3. So Brian Barzalski going to try to get something going with Joey Agardo and Michael Angie kind of hovering around. He grabs a strike. There's a swing and a little ground ball to Joe Papp, and he'll make that play. So Joe Papp right now made a couple of nifty plays at short center, covering a lot of ground.
Come on, Joey!
Brings up Joey Agardo.
Come on, Joey! Wait!
And that pitch is a little high. It's tough to say that. They really don't have a limit here, but never know when an umpire's. And that pitch is inside.
Come on, Joe boy!
Of course, Michael Angie on deck. Mike was unbelievable out here last year. And that should be Chuck Regaldo calling it, makes the play, cutting between two outfielders on the other diamond. So halfway through, 1-0. Lips having a hard time getting their offense unpacked with this wind blowing in. And if I'm the 38s, I want to get a little insurance and tack on here. Thanks, Teddy. Of course, Teddy ran the Raiders for a long time. If you ever needed a number in softball back in the day, Teddy Sherman probably had it. So Dom Jacoby going to lead off, then Ryan and Chuck. So you're at 4, 5, 6 here in the 38 lineup. And Dom swings and he hits a rocket into right field. Leadoff base hit, good speed aboard. And that's the kind of ball on a day like today you need to hit, because anything that gets elevated just isn't going anywhere. So here comes the first baseman, Ryan. And it's been kind of rare to see a leadoff man on base in this game. Pitch way deep.
Let's go!
And there's a hard ground ball up the middle, over to Alonji, toward the first, not in time. Nicely done there, the second baseman. Timmy Simon doing a good job there. Got the big bounce, got it to Alonji, but hustling down the line, Ryan beats it out, brings up Chuck Regaldo. Now they're going to courtesy run. And Julian Russell is going to come out in courtesy run. Low scoring game. And it kind of magnifies your defense when you get into these ball games. And Chuck tries to go hard to the gap. That could be trouble. No. Brian Sherwin got there. That ball just died up in the air. Allowed Brian to get there. He actually caught it off his back hip as he was running. Got a great jump on it. Almost overran it. Brings up Connor Grove. Two outs here. And there's a high pop up to right fielder Barzalski puts it away. So we're going to head to the top of the fifth. It's still 1-0. And I'm going to take an opportunity here to grab a swig of water. I'll be right back, folks. So leading off is going to be Mike Alonji. And of course, Mike more than capable of hitting the gap. Very strong hitter. Mike very versatile. Played third base when he first saw him with heat. We've seen him play some shortstop, especially last year with Dynasty after Joe Igarto went to flashback. We've seen him up the middle. Very versatile kid. Tom, this is Hamlin Park on the, I guess you'd call this the north side of the city, a little west. And there's a little ground ball picked up by Joe Papp. Out number one here. It's right off of Damon. I should know the cross street, but I don't. So Cody Niedenbach is going to step in. Right now, Lips is just kind of got that body language. They're just kind of waiting for something to spark them here. Cody hits a knuckleball. Dom can't get to it. Cody Niedenbach, a hard line drive knuckleball over the infield. One out base runner.
Let's go, guy.
Brings up Guy. I think I may have called him Timmy at second. So Dane's been spinning a good one here. One out base runner. Just nipped the point of the plate there.
Come on, guy.
And he sweeps it into center. Chuck Regaldo. I tell you, that was a little inside-out sweep swing. It started out in center and ended up in right center. So when you put that inside-out type of English on the ball and it gets that spin, you get it up with a lot of high wind here, and that ball really moved. So here's Ugg. Now there's 2 outs. And there's a little infield pop-up. Paparone puts it away. We head to the bottom of the 5th, still 1-0. And the Lips, after winning 4 in a row, a little tight offensively here. Joey Agarro trying to keep everybody positive and upbeat over here. Again, if you're the Lips, you're only down a run. So you just got to hang in there and can't get down on yourself. Just got to keep playing. That's all you can do. So Joe Papp going to be leading off, followed by Sean and then Gary. 38s do have the hammer, but it's uncomfortable having a 1-run lead in any game in 16-inch softball. Thanks, Matt. I go to a lot of parks, but it's all through GPS. And being a Southwest side kid living in Oak Lawn, without GPS, I wouldn't be able to get anywhere. So here's Joe Papp trying to get it rolling here. And he hits a hard line drive and Wheel snags it. We told you he can play defense up the middle. That ball was hit hard. Might have had a chance to sneak through, but he reached down and actually made it look easy. So here's Sean with Gary on deck. And there's a ground ball, and Wheels knocks that down. Ball stayed right at his feet and made the play. So the only run of the ball game scored in the bottom of the 1st on a throwing error with 2 outs. So neither team lighting it on fire with the bats. Here's Gary. And Gary line drive to Iggy. So we head to the top of the 6th, 1-run game. Something's got to give. There's Rich Wagner. What's up, Wags? Wags, just so you know, we'll have the championship game probably about 15 minutes after this game. And then we'll be hightailing it to Melrose for a little co-ed action. So leading off here is going to be Brian Sherwin, Timothy looks like Simon, and then Billy Sherwin. We are in the sixth inning. Worst case scenario, if you're a Lips fan, in the seventh they go 1-2-3. It would be Mockler in the top. So the top of the lineup will get one more crack in this game, whether it's this inning or next. And there's a line, little short one hopper. First baseman got down, made the play. So good job by Ryan. Made sure that ball didn't sneak through the 5-hole. Plenty of time to get to the base. So leadoff man down. Here's Timmy Simon. And there's a high fly ball. Dom Jacoby is there. And he puts it away for out number 2. So it brings up Bill Sherwin. And Billy's job is to get on base and give Phil Mockler an opportunity to hit this inning. And it's important because even if Mockler doesn't get a hit, you'd start clean at the top. And if Mockler does get a hit and you got a couple of base runners, you'd be back at the top with wheels. And there's a high fly ball, and Joe is there and he puts it away. So we head to the bottom of the 6th, 1-0. And game's been a defensive struggle. And here come the 38s now. So bottom of the 6th, you'd like to get some insurance. And looks like they're going to have a pinch hitter this inning. I believe this is Scotty going to be pinch hitting for Dane. We'll make sure we get the name right. Joe on deck and then Justin. So it's 11-1-2 here, bottom of the 6th. Is this Scotty hitting? Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. So Scotty will be hitting. I call him my Pete Carell lookalike. Yeah, Moist looked pretty good yesterday on their way to the Veterans Park District Annual Softball Tournament Major Division Championship. So 1-1 count here. Takes that pitch deep. If your wheels, you're already down 1 and your offense hasn't shown you much today, so you want to kind of not give any free passes. And he swings and he floats one, and what a catch! Right above the turf. Fantastic catch there by the second baseman. That ball looked like trouble. The first baseman was way off the line. Wheels was coming, but had that ball hit the ground or short hopped, it would have been trouble. It's a great play to start the bottom of the 6th here by Lips. It brings up Joe. And he slashes it just foul down the left field line. And that ball would have rolled out of play. It would have been a stand-up double. Joe's got a look on his face like thought he had it, but not quite.
It gave me such great joy. It really did. And I count my blessings every day, Tom. I'm so grateful.
And Joe, a little chopper, Alonji cuts it off, makes the play. So 2 outs, it brings up Justin. So we're in the bottom of the sixth here. This score holds. We'll see if we end up with a wild seventh inning or not.
I explained my situation. She's like, "Whoa,
Keep that way, let's go!
I said, but my heart is full of joy. That's some great people in my life. You're one of them. I mean,
Yeah, I can't say enough about Wheels and Dane. They've both been fantastic today. And aside from the little bobble in the first, both defensively have been fantastic. And Justin flips one to right. Beat Brian Barzowski, gets there and makes the catch. And now it's a do or die top of the seventh for the four-time defending champs, Lips. They need one to extend the game, two to take a lead. Anything less, and there will be a new champion out here, as they will be dethroned. And we'll have that championship game coming up. Liam? Okay, yeah, I know Liam. So Liam Mulcrone going to lead off here. He's hitting for Phil Mockler, and then they'll be at the top of their lineup with Wheels, BT, and if anybody gets on, Iggy. So gut check time here for the four-time defending champs. And Liam tries to go down the right field line and hit it right into a team. It looks like that's Webby over there checking out the proceedings. And this is a good park because they got trees all over the place. It's a very mature park. And he takes a called strike too. And he's going to end up fouling out. The Webby guys make another play. Kid in a lawn chair reached up and snagged it. So, Dirty 38's clinging to a one-run lead here. Trying to dethrone the champs and move on to a championship game. Brings up Wheels with Brian Barzowski. Tell you, this kid Dane's pitched a beautiful ball game so far. Well, let's just say, Joey, they're a little liberal on how high you can throw it. And normally, up here at Hamlin, Mather, they play a lot of that unlimited arc, for sure. That pitch a little flatter, and he grabs a strike. Sometimes as a hitter, you think the guy's going to stay upstairs, and then he throws you a meatball, and you get caught looking at it. And there he hits it toward right center. It's going to drop, base hit. So tying run is on first. Joe got to it and fired it in, kept Wheels at first, and it brings up Brian Barzowski. So he just flipped it toward open space and got it to drop. Certainly the wind was helping to knock it down. No chance for the right fielder. So here's Brian Barzowski. With Joey Agardo on deck. So if the 38s are going to win this game 1-0, they're going to have to earn it. And there's a little spinner. If it stays fair, it's trouble, but it rolls foul. So Brian Barzowski now will have to find a way to keep the ball fair. And Brian's got a lot of pop. Sometimes in these situations, guys will tend to try to overswing. But his job is just to throw a hit out there. Try to get Wheels to third on a base hit. And that's a little deep. 2-2, I believe. And he slashes one. Jacoby can't make the catch. He actually overran it. He hit a sinking line drive. A little bit of an inside out. The ball started to tail. Dom tried to slam the brakes on. His feet went out and he took it off the upper shoulder on his right side. And now it's Joey Agardo. First and second, one out here. And Iggy, a little ground ball. Pap steps on it, throws safe at first. I thought Iggy just beat it. Don't know if I had it on the thing. So runners on the corner, 2 outs. And it brings up a very dangerous Michael Longi. Joe Pap made a nice play, stepped on it, good strong throw. Iggy just beat it. Sometimes as a short center, you take those 3 steps to the bag, it costs you a double play. I think the 45s are one of the best teams because Nate Mercado will always come flying over and he'll be yelling at the short center. It's quicker to throw it, catch it and throw it than it is to take 3 or 4 steps, step on it, and then throw it. So runners on the corner for Michael Longi. Lips looking for their first run of the ball game. And Longi way out of play. He did get on it. I think if that ball was in fair territory, I think Dom would have got to it. So sometimes guys are like, oh, it's a little quick, but I don't think it had the distance to get over Dom's head. And with that wind blowing in, if you're Mike here, you got to concentrate on hitting a line drive if you can. Iggy will be running on the swing. He'll score on a stretch single. And they are deep. Dom is almost by the dirt on the other diamond. A little humpback in front of him will be a stand-up double. So Dane trying to shut the door here. Longi being very patient. Dane being very cautious. Mike takes a timeout to regather himself as Dane was taking a little too much time on the hill for his liking. And there he walks him. And I don't think that breaks the Dirty 38's heart in the sense that Mike's got a reputation. But this Cody Niedenbach has been laying out ropes most of the summer and is very dangerous. So bases loaded, 2 outs. 4-time defending champs clinging to life. And Niedenbach goes high. Jacoby on his horse makes the catch. He hit it to the other diamond. It looked like it was in foul territory when Jacoby ran it down. And the Lips 4-year stranglehold on this tournament is over. Dirty 38s will be playing in the championship. And we're going to start a new stream, I want to say that the underage game is still being played, so it might be a few minutes, but check back if you're not getting the notifications. And Dom is actually grabbing his left hand. We'll keep an eye on that in the championship. He may have jammed a finger catching that ball. So Dom Jacoby ran it down. So we'll be back